Hello dear friends, I'm Alder Santos, and welcome to our channel, Baseball Legends. When we think of the great names who helped shape the identity of the Seattle Mariners in the 1990s, it's impossible not to think of Jay Buhner. With his shaved head, striking beard, and the fierce look of a man always ready for battle, Buhner was much more than a power hitter. He was the beating heart of a franchise seeking respect. But what few people know is that his journey to idol status began with a controversial trade, one that still makes New York Yankees fans cringe with regret. How did a seemingly secondary player become one of the most beloved icons in Seattle baseball history? Buhner didn't win over fans with just impressive numbers, although those are certainly part of his story. He had 3 straight seasons with over 40 home runs, unforgettable games, and clutch performances that put his name alongside legends like Ken Griffey Jr., Edgar Martínez, and Randy Johnson. He was a key part of the legendary 1995 core that led the Mariners to the playoffs for the first time, in an epic run that became a symbol of resilience and passion. And through it all, Jay was the rock, consistent, dedicated, and always present, both at the plate and in right field, where his sharp defense and cannon-like arms silenced any doubts about his versatility. Watch this video until the end and tell us, what's your most unforgettable memory of Jay Buhner? Was it a game-changing home run, a laser throw from right field, or the unmistakable charisma that won over all of Seattle? Drop your comment below, share your opinion with us, and help keep alive the legacy of one of the greatest icons in Mariners history. But Jay Buhner's legacy goes far beyond the field. He embraced Seattle as his home, returning the love from fans through active community involvement, charity work, and a connection that transcended baseball. His image became a trademark, inspiring theme nights like the famous Jay Buhner Buzz Cut Night, and his quiet leadership helped shape generations in the clubhouse. In this video, you'll find out why Jay Buhner wasn't just a good player, he was a true legend. Get ready to relive epic moments, discover surprising behind-the-scenes stories, and understand how an icon is built through sweat, loyalty, and identity. Jay Buhner began his professional baseball journey as a promising prospect in the New York Yankees farm system, a player they drafted for his raw power and athletic tools. With a strong build and a powerful arm in the outfield, he quickly caught the attention of scouts and team executives. In the early 1980s, the Yankees were aiming to refresh parts of their roster with players like Buhner, and he seemed to fit the mold for a more promising future. His performance in the minors was steady, and in 1987, he finally made his major league debut wearing the Bronx pinstripes. However, his stay in New York would be brief and ultimately marked by one of the most controversial decisions in franchise history, in 1988. The Yankees, eager for immediate reinforcements and betting on veterans, traded Jay Buhner to the Seattle Mariners in a package deal that brought experienced slugger Ken Phelps to New York. The decision was heavily influenced by the Yankees' front office desire for instant offensive production, something Phelps and his home run track record were supposed to provide. However, the move was widely criticized as short-sighted. Phelps never made the impact expected, while Buhner thrived in Seattle and became one of the team's defining figures. The trade became so infamous that it was even satirized in episodes of the TV show Seinfeld, where George Costanza's father exclaims in disbelief, "What the hell did you trade Jay Buhner for?" For the Yankees, that trade became a symbol of impatience and poor talent evaluation. The franchise watched Buhner develop into a complete player while they continued searching for a stable presence in right field. In Seattle, he found the playing time, support, and environment needed to fully grow into his potential. Initially seen as a complementary piece, he quickly earned a full-time spot, impressing with his power at the plate and defensive prowess. Throughout the 1990s, especially as part of the iconic 1995 Mariners team, Buhner wasn't just a consistent contributor. He was a respected voice and leader in the clubhouse. Meanwhile, the Yankees would spend years trying to replace the hole left by a talent they had barely begun to understand. Buhner's trade is often listed among the worst trades in MLB history and serves as a clear example of how haste can be costly in baseball. For the Mariners, it was one of the best moves in franchise history, acquiring a player who would become central to their rise as a relevant team in the league. For Buhner, the trade was a turning point in his career, as Seattle gave him the chance to become a starter, a star, and eventually a hometown legend. While the Yankees did eventually get back on track in the following years, thanks to young stars like Derek Jeter and Mariano Rivera, the memory of losing Buhner remains a bitter chapter for many fans who watched a gem get handed away far too early. From the moment he arrived in Seattle in 1988, Jay Buhner quickly won the hearts of the city and its fans, not just through his performance on the field, but with his intensity and authenticity. On a team still searching for its identity in Major League Baseball, Buhner became a symbol of grit, commitment, and realness. His aggressive playing style, powerful swings, hard sprints around the bases, and diving catches in the outfield perfectly matched Seattle's blue-collar mindset. Fans saw themselves in a player who never backed down from a challenge. It didn't take long for Bone to become a household name and the embodiment of the Mariners' competitive spirit. Buhner's bond with Seattle extended far beyond the diamond. He was deeply involved in the local community, took part in charity events, and always made it a point to show gratitude for the support he received from fans. It was common to see him interacting with people of all ages, signing autographs, and maintaining a personal connection that set him apart from many of the league's other stars. This mutual relationship cemented his status as a hometown hero and turned games at the Old Kingdom into unforgettable experiences. Fans wore shirts with his name, sported wigs imitating his bald head, and roared with every home run like it was the first, because when Buhner played, Seattle felt alive. Buhner's charisma was also reflected in his unique appearance: a shaved head, a distinctive beard, and an imposing physical presence. These features, combined with his on-field energy, made him one of the most recognizable MLB players of the 1990s. The franchise knew how to take advantage of this image to strengthen its bond with the fans, promoting events like Buhner Bus Cut Night, where fans would shave their heads in honor of the icon and receive free admission to the game. The initiative became a tradition and further highlighted the affection between the player and his fans. It was something rare, a player whose public image was built not in studios or marketing campaigns, but on the field and in the stands. On the field, Buhner delivered consistent results. Between 1995 and 1997, he had 3 consecutive seasons with over 40 home runs, a remarkable feat that placed him among the league's most respected sluggers. But more than the numbers, it was the intensity with which he played every inning that made him special. He didn't just produce, he inspired. His competitive spirit, his desire to win, and his refusal to accept mediocrity helped raise the standards inside the clubhouse and had a positive influence on his teammates. Buhner was the kind of player who made those around him better simply by being beside them. That fighting mentality was crucial in cementing the Mariners as a force in the American League during the 1990s. Alongside legends like Ken Griffey Jr., Edgar Martínez, and Randy Johnson, Buhner formed the backbone of a team that not only ended long playoff droughts, but also reignited interest in baseball throughout Seattle. He didn't have Griffey's natural grace or Edgar's technical precision, but his raw authenticity and passion served as the emotional glue between the team and the fan base. On many nights, it was Buhner who sparked the crowd's energy with a powerful hit or a daring play in right field. Over the years, Jay Buhner became much more than a baseball player in Seattle. He became part of the city's cultural identity. In a franchise that has had its share of stars, few have managed to establish such a deep and lasting bond with the fans as he did. Even after his retirement, his name is still revered at T-Mobile Park, and his image remains alive in the collective memory of the fan base. Buhner, in essence, represented the spirit of Seattle, resilient, passionate, and loyal to its roots. And for that reason, it's no exaggeration to say he didn't just play for the Mariners. He helped define what it means to be a Mariner. The 1995 season was a turning point for the Seattle Mariners, and Jay Buhner was at the heart of that transformation. Alongside legendary names like Ken Griffey Jr., Edgar Martínez, and Randy Johnson, Buhner was an essential part of the core that led the franchise to its first ever appearance in the Major League Baseball playoffs. That year represented more than just sporting success. It was a battle for the team's very survival in Seattle as relocation loomed. The team's performance reignited the city's passion for baseball, and Buhner, with his relentless energy and commanding presence in right field, helped turn an ordinary season into an unforgettable epic. During the regular season, Buhner was one of the team's offensive cornerstones. With his power at the plate, he racked up 40 home runs, 121 RBIs, and a fearsome presence in the heart of the lineup. But beyond the stats, his true impact came through in how he responded during the most high-pressure moments. On a team filled with natural talent, Buhner was the tireless warrior, the one who never held anything back. His emotional leadership and hard-nosed playing style were a source of motivation for the entire roster, which united around a larger cause: to prove that Seattle belonged among baseball's elite. And when the playoffs arrived, that mentality translated into one of the most dramatic series in MLB history. The division series against the New York Yankees became legendary, not only for its thrilling outcome, but for the symbolism it carried. Seattle facing the most traditional powerhouse in the league, the very team that had traded Buhner away years earlier. The Mariners' comeback, after falling behind 2-0, was historic. Buhner played a crucial role both at the plate and in the field. His 3-run homer in Game 4 was pivotal in keeping the Mariners alive in the series. And defensively, his steady glove helped neutralize the Yankees' powerful lineup. It was the perfect revenge, not just against his former team, but against the narrative that the Mariners weren't ready for the big stage in Game 5, which ended with Edgar Martínez's iconic hit that drove Ken Griffey Jr. from first base to home. Buhner wasn't the one in the final spotlight, but his contributions up to that point were vital in setting the stage for history. He was the heartbeat of that team, a symbol of grit, commitment, and connection with the fans. His role in that historic squad solidified his place among franchise legends and sealed one of the most emotional seasons ever witnessed in sports. In 1995, Jay Buhner didn't just help the Mariners reach the playoffs. He helped save baseball in Seattle. In Game 5, which ended with Edgar Martínez's iconic hit that drove Ken Griffey Jr. all the way from first base to home plate. Buhner wasn't the protagonist of the final play, but his contributions up to that moment were vital for that story to be written. He was the beating heart of that team, a symbol of resilience, dedication, and connection with the fans. His role in that historic roster cemented his place among the franchise's idols and sealed one of the most thrilling seasons ever seen in the sport. In 1995, Jay Buhner didn't just help the Mariners reach the playoffs. He helped save baseball in Seattle. The 1996 season represented the peak of Jay Buhner's career, both in terms of statistics and national recognition. With devastating offensive power, he finished the year with an impressive 44 home runs and 138 RBIs, numbers that placed him among the most feared hitters in the league. That explosive performance wasn't just a lucky streak. It was the result of years of dedication, technical development, an adaptation to the highest level of baseball. In a powerful Mariners lineup that featured Ken Griffey Jr. and Edgar Martínez, Buhner was the anchor of brute strength, providing consistency in the heart of the order and giving opposing pitchers headaches night after night. The 1996 campaign also marked Buhner's first and only selection to the MLB All-Star Game, an honor that finally reflected the respect he had earned from fans, peers, and baseball analysts alike. For years, he had been viewed as an underrated player whose true value went beyond traditional stats. His presence at the All-Star Game was the crowning moment for an athlete who represented not only raw power at the plate, but also dedication, intensity, and identity with his team. The selection was even more meaningful because it came during his best season, validating all the hard work he had put in to become a central figure in the Mariners' rise as a competitive force. Beyond the numbers, what stood out most about Buhner that year was his ability to maintain high performance over the entire season, something extremely rare in a league as physically demanding as MLB. His powerful swing, combined with a sharp eye for pitches in the strike zone, allowed him to produce both in high-pressure games and quieter moments, showcasing his consistency as an indispensable piece of the team. 1996 was the year Buhner solidified his reputation as one of the great sluggers of the 1990s, not just for his long, memorable home runs, but also for his resilience, quiet leadership, and unwavering commitment to the Mariners collective. Success. Between 1995 and 1997, Jay Buhner accomplished a rare feat that cemented his status as one of the most feared hitters in the American League. He recorded 3 consecutive seasons with more than 40 home runs. That level of consistent power hitting is extremely uncommon and placed him in elite company alongside names like Babe Ruth, Harmon Killebrew, and Ken Griffey Jr. This wasn't just a one-season breakout. Buhner proved his strength at the plate was sustainable, resistant to the usual slumps of the sport, and capable of making a lasting impact on opposing defenses. His aggressive swing, paired with precise timing, made him a constant threat in any count. During that stretch, Buhner didn't just pile up home runs. He was a key component of the Mariners' batting order. His presence in the middle of the lineup provided protection for other stars like Griffey and Martínez, complicating strategic decisions for opposing pitchers. He was known for punishing poor pitch location and hitting with authority to all fields. His intimidating presence at the plate also helped extend innings and kept constant pressure on opposing teams. In a lineup full of offensive talent, Buhner brought the raw power, the kind of player who could change the course of a game with one swing. These 3 consecutive 40-plus home run seasons not only solidified Jay Buhner's image as a symbol of power, but also reinforced his importance in Mariners history. He stood out during a time when the franchise was establishing its winning identity and building a passionate fan base. For many Seattle fans, those years marked the team's golden era, and Buhner was a central figure in that success, not only for his impressive stats, but also for his charismatic and intense presence on the field. His consistency at the plate and his total commitment to the game made him a local hero and a defining slugger of the 1990s. Jay Buhner was not just a productive player on the field. He was a unique and charismatic figure who left an unforgettable mark on the culture of the Mariners and the city of Seattle. With his shaved head, striking beard, and intense attitude, Bone, as he was affectionately known by fans, immediately stood out among other players in the league. His unmistakable look was a direct reflection of his personality, authentic, bold, and unafraid to show who he was. This mix of style and passionate commitment to the game allowed Buhner to transcend the role of a player and become a true pop culture icon, admired for both his performance and his commanding presence. His charisma wasn't limited to the cameras or big plays. It also came through in the close relationship he built with fans. Buhner always showed gratitude and affection for the support from Seattle's crowd, and he gave back with simple, sincere, and meaningful gestures. This was most evident during events like the legendary Jay Buhner Buzz Cut Night, a campaign promoted by the club where fans, including kids and adults, shaved their heads in tribute to his signature look. The event didn't just show how loved he was, it proved how his style had become a symbol of identity for the team. Few players achieve that level of emotional connection with a community, and Buhner did it naturally and passionately. More than just a striking appearance or a marketing slogan, Jay Buhner's cultural impact came from his authenticity. He was exactly what he appeared to be: intense, competitive, approachable, and funny. That authenticity earned him respect from teammates, fear from opponents, and adoration from fans. In an era full of media-made stars, Buhner earned his place without changing who he was, and that's why his image remains vivid in the collective memory of Mariners fans. To this day, in Seattle, his name is still synonymous with baseball passion, team spirit, and a unique identity that helped shape the soul of the franchise. Although widely known for his power at the plate and his impressive home run totals, Jay Buhner was also a high-level defender, especially in right field, a position that demands agility, quick reads on the ball, and most importantly, a reliable arm. Often underrated in this aspect, Buhner proved over the years that he wasn't just a power hitter, but a complete athlete who mastered the fundamentals of defense. His sharp reflexes, combined with excellent positioning instincts, allowed him to cover large areas of the outfield efficiently, preventing extra base hits and frustrating opponents' offensive efforts. One of the most remarkable traits of his defense was his strong and incredibly accurate throwing arm. Buhner intimidated base runners who considered advancing from first to third or trying to score on a shallow hit. His outfield assists, often delivered with powerful and precise throws, were a difference-maker that added strength to the Mariners' overall defense. Over his career, he collected numerous outfield assists, earning a reputation that was respected across the league. For a 1990s Mariners team striving for consistency in all areas, Buhner's presence in right field was a relief for pitchers and a nightmare for opposing runners. While he may not have received widespread recognition from analysts for his glove work, fans and teammates knew just how much Buhner contributed defensively. His commitment to fielding was evident in both practices and games, where he never hesitated to dive for a difficult catch or sacrifice his body to keep a play alive. He may not have won any Gold Gloves, but the quiet impact of his defense was undeniable. Jay Buhner was one of those rare players in whom charisma, offensive power, and defensive reliability coexisted, and that made him an irreplaceable piece in the Mariners' golden era machine. In the Seattle Mariners clubhouse during the 1990s, Jay Buhner played a vital role that often went unnoticed by the general public, but was deeply respected by teammates and coaches alike: the role of the silent leader. Unlike more vocal players, Buhner led by example, showing daily dedication to hard work, meticulous preparation, and unwavering loyalty to the team. He was the kind of player who arrived early, practiced with intensity, and treated everyone, from rookies to veterans, with respect and seriousness. This consistent approach helped create a professional and focused environment where effort was the minimum standard expected. His fierce competitiveness was also one of the most notable traits within the group. Buhner hated to lose, and that feeling was evident in every inning, every workout, and every moment on the field. He held himself to the highest standard and inspired others to do the same, not through fiery speeches, but through his conduct. That competitive mindset, paired with a strong sense of unity, helped shape the winning culture that took root in the Mariners organization, especially starting with the historic 1995 season. For young players making their way to the major league roster, having a veteran like Buhner in the clubhouse was like having a guide, someone who showed by example, what it meant to play with pride for the city of Seattle. More than just a player respected for his on-field production, Jay Buhner was an emotional and cultural anchor for the team. He understood the value of cohesion, mutual trust, and group commitment. In a team full of big names and strong personalities, like Ken Griffey Jr., Randy Johnson, and Edgar Martínez, Buhner was the invisible glue that held the group together. His influence helped balance the clubhouse during tense moments and kept the team grounded during winning stretches. That quiet leadership, built on character and consistency, is one of the reasons why Jay Buhner remains a revered figure in Mariners history, not just as a sports idol, but as a model of professionalism and team spirit. Jay Buhner left an indelible mark on the history of the Seattle Mariners, becoming one of the franchise's most iconic and respected figures. His legacy goes far beyond impressive statistics, reflecting an unwavering commitment to the team and a passion that inspired both teammates and fans alike. Buhner wasn't just a talented player. He embodied the essence of grit and determination, attributes that helped define a golden era of baseball in Seattle during the 1990s. His presence on the field inspired confidence, and his all-out effort in every game symbolized the team's competitive spirit. That recognition came naturally and deservedly, culminating in his induction into the Mariners Hall of Fame, a tribute reserved only for the greatest icons of the franchise. This honor celebrates not only Buhner's numbers and individual achievements, but also his key role in shaping the identity of the club. He was part of the core group that led the Mariners to their first major successes, including the historic 1995 campaign that galvanized an entire city. Jay Buhner's name remains forever linked to the team's rise and to the passion Seattle developed for baseball, making him a true local symbol. Even after his retirement, the bond between Buhner and the Mariners never faded. He continues to be a constant reference point for fans, serving as inspiration for current and future players. His story is often recalled during key franchise moments, and his image lives on in the stands, on jerseys, and in the hearts of those who witnessed his accomplishments. Jay Buhner is not just a baseball legend. He is part of the Mariners' soul, an eternal legacy of dedication, strength, and love for the game that will continue to influence generations and define the club's identity for many years to come. Jay Buhner wasn't just a great player. He was the beating heart of an unforgettable era of baseball in Seattle. In a sport often dominated by media-made stars and million-dollar deals, Bones stood for something more authentic: all-out effort on the field, respect for the game, and a genuine connection with the fans. His career is a powerful reminder that a true idol is not the one who seeks the spotlight, but the one who wins hearts through sweat, attitude, and loyalty. Buhner was that rare kind of player, one who could inspire not just with numbers, but with the spirit he brought to every play. The 1995 season, with its epic comeback against the Yankees, remains etched in the memory of everyone who loves baseball. And Jay Buhner was there, a central figure helping to build a story of resilience that would forever change the direction of the franchise. His firm presence, powerful hitting, and contagious energy served as fuel for a team that simply refused to give up. More than just participating in a historic moment, Buhner embodied it. He was the personification of the Mariners' grit, and that's why his name still echoes among fans to this day. Throughout his career, Buhner proved that consistency is one of the most valuable traits an athlete can possess. For 3 consecutive seasons, he surpassed the 40 home run mark, an achievement that placed him among the league's elite and confirmed his status as one of the most dangerous hitters of his era. But what truly impressed people was his ability to maintain the same level of intensity and commitment, game after game, year after year. That quiet dependability is one of the reasons he was so beloved in Seattle. Jay Buhner was reliable both in victory and in defeat. but his contribution went beyond the field. Buhner embraced Seattle with his whole heart, becoming a constant presence in community events, charity efforts, and social initiatives. His involvement in the local community showed that he was not just an athlete, but a thoughtful and generous citizen. This cemented his image as a true icon of the city, someone who understood that representing a franchise also means representing its people. The emotional bond he built with fans transcended the game, and that's why his legacy remains so strong even after retirement. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted every time we upload new content. And don't forget to leave a comment and share it with your friends. In the clubhouse, he was respected by everyone. His straightforward, no-nonsense style, his work ethic, and his quiet example of dedication were essential in shaping the winning culture of the Mariners in the 90s. Buhner didn't need to speak, much to be heard. His presence, his posture, and his all-out effort on the field said it all. He was a leader in his own way, the kind who inspires more through action than through words. And those are the kinds of leaders who leave deep and lasting marks on any team. Today, when we look back on the history of the Seattle Mariners, it's impossible not to see Jay Buhner as one of the pillars of that journey. His name, forever enshrined in the team's Hall of Fame, represents a golden era built on effort, sweat, and love for the game. His legacy is made of home runs, clutch catches, and magical nights at the Kingdome. But above all, it's made of humanity. Jay Buhner taught us that in baseball and in life, what really matters is playing with heart. And for that, he'll always be remembered as a true giant of the diamond. Until our next journey, dear baseball-loving friends,